Listen, I made over $4 million over the last 3 years, and a big part of it was because I'm a super confident person. I got into rooms with very successful millionaires. I was able to be very successful in a very male-dominated space where a lot of the people being successful were all dudes, and I did it at 25. I basically run things on my own schedule. I took a 4-month maternity leave, and I didn't work, and I still made a great year. It all boils down to knowing how to be confident and how to deploy confidence in my own life and leverage that skill set to get what I want. When you don't have confidence, you feel paralyzed, you overthink, you bounce from idea to idea, strategy to strategy, and it's extremely hard to build traction in any area of your life if you lack confidence. You bounce from project to project. You are not really trusting that an idea you pick is gonna work. You doubt, you struggle to get started, you struggle to stay consistent. If that's happening to you, it's because frankly, you lack confidence. And that's something we wanna work on here today. So the first thing that I believe is that confidence comes from experience. So the more experience you are in something, the more you'll have what I consider to be true confidence, not the sort of, I can do it, and you just put on a fake front. But I believe that true confidence, deep confidence, foundational confidence comes from experience, where you know so much about a topic or you know so much about a field of study that you can confidently speak on it, you can confidently talk about it because you've put those years into the field, into the study, into the interest, whatever it might be. So the more you commit to becoming a master in your field, the more confident you will become about it. Now here's the thing though, you don't have to feel confident to start. In fact, most people don't feel confident when they start. They feel scared, they feel afraid, they don't want to put themselves out there. It's very uncomfortable. What I want you to do is to separate the feeling of confidence with that first action. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later on with my first live stream that I ever did, but I just want you to understand and to know and to wrap your mind around, when I start this, I'm not gonna feel confident, but I still need to go out there and I still need to get that experience. So I'm going to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm just gonna start sitting in that feeling of being a little outside my comfort zone, because that's how you grow and that's how you get that experience that builds that true confidence. But you won't start feeling confident. You need to sort of separate the way you feel with what you need to do with the action that you need to take. A great example of this was my first live stream that I ever did. It would set the trajectory for my entire career. This moment right here genuinely changed my life. I was so scared. I was in this little closet it had like a white background, and I was so worried that like the custodian was gonna come in and yell at me because I was in his cleaning supply closet going live on Facebook. And then I went on to do a live stream every single day for like 5 years. There was so many live streams. And now I could literally wake up, get ready in 3 minutes, and go live on anything you told me to do. You could give me a word and I could talk for an hour on that on live stream and be completely comfortable because I have the experience.
Peanut butter.
I could talk for an hour about peanut allergies. I could talk about how some people like peanut butter. I could talk about the guy who invented peanut butter and how in really growing peanuts, I could do this indefinitely. I could talk about my sister-in-law who has a peanut allergy. I could talk about my dog Charlie who loves to get peanut butter on his little toys. I could talk about the time I competed in a bikini competition and cheated and ate a bunch of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I can literally do this for an hour because I have experience, and that experience gives me confidence. And it's so important because that moment right there when I felt the fear and I did it anyways, launched my career in a way, and it created this life 7-8 years later that I have now. Really, Maria, you went live once and that created your whole successful business. The point in that is that I had never gone live before. I was terrified to do it. I knew it would help my business. I knew it was gonna be a big deal. And I had to get over the fear of going live, of being seen, of possibly being rejected, of getting nobody commenting on it. And I bet if you're watching this, there's an area in your business right now that you know you need to do. You know would make you more successful if you did it, but you are holding yourself back from doing that thing because you're afraid, because you lack the confidence. And I'm here to tell you that until you can learn to build that muscle and create that habit of doing uncomfortable things so we can get the experience, so we can have the confidence, you're gonna struggle to be successful. And that's what I don't want for you. I guarantee that if we looked at all the things that you spent time on this week working on your business, some of it was things that made you feel productive, but weren't actually things that are growing your business. And we're gonna make a whole nother video on just this topic of doing things that make us feel productive, but really are the things that feel safe to us when we should be doing the hard, scary things that are actually going to drive our revenue. So for me, I knew that I could feel productive creating things in Canva, but what I really needed to do to grow my business was to be consistently live streaming. And doing those live streams every single day is actually what jump-started my business. And I made a couple $100,000 per year doing that at the beginning of my business because I was able to overcome that fear and start showing up in the way that I needed to. Here's the thing. Confidence is contagious. There were a couple times in my business over the last, 10 years where I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. I didn't want to do it anymore. I was discouraged. I was hating it. And in particular, I remember once I was living with my sister at the time. We were still in Ohio and I just was done. I think I had like a really difficult client. This was back when I was creating websites and logos, and I had a really difficult client and I was so over it. And I went into her bedroom and I was like super dramatically burst down the door and I'm like, that's it. I quit. I'm done with this. I'm done. And she just looked at me and she's like, you're not going to quit. Like, you're going to keep going. And because she had that confidence in me in a moment in time where I didn't have the confidence in me, it was contagious. And the cool thing is, in my experience, the more you show up and you give confidence to other people, you create that contagious confidence, it'll come back to you and you'll start to not just believe in other people's dreams and encourage your kids or your significant other or your friends, but you start to speak that language of confidence to yourself. And so you create confidence for yourself by supporting other people. And in turn, people tend to support you. So confidence is contagious. If you want to feel more confident in 2023 and start getting the things you want this year, honestly, the first thing you need to do is start taking the actions that are going to lead to more confidence.